Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Noelle and I review and unbox subscription boxes here on my channel, and today I have a lovely box that's been sent to me for review. But just as a caveat, this box is not for everyone. It is a very unique box. There's nothing quite like Birdmoss out there that I personally know of. And some of you, I understand, don't necessarily see the value of this, and for some of you it is just so unique and so special. I am obviously on that side of the fence with this one. It's a little bit mystical, it's a little bit fantasy, it's a little bit creative DIY. If you have sort of a creative streak and an imagination, this is definitely a box that you might enjoy. You might enjoy it with the whole family as well, because you really do get to enter this kind of other world. And so some of the items are not necessarily the most useful, functional items, but they do have an element of delight, and that is what I love about Birdmoss. This is the August box. Each box is $45. I do have a nice code for you though, so you can save a little bit on your first one. It's just Noel, and that'll save you $10. But as always, I'll leave all of that information for you in the description box below. But just in general, I just wanted to put just a little reminder out there, because I know some of you are newer to my channel. We try to keep things pretty positive. I definitely have had people, not necessarily just with this box, but all the boxes that I open here on the channel, some sent to me for a review, some that I purchased myself, and sometimes people would be like, that box is terrible. I hate that box. That box is not for me. And that is absolutely fine. Just like when I say that something in a box might not be my personal style, that is in no way some sort of judgment if it's your personal style, right? So we can be positive, we can have some constructive feedback for the boxes, but we don't necessarily need to be super negative, right? I don't think that'll be a problem with this box though. Let's go ahead and dive in. There's always a theme, but there's also, of course, sort of our little call to action, I suppose. This is our entry poem. You can see it's really beautiful every time with this nice dark blue tissue paper and a silver seal. I'll go ahead and read the entry poem for you. Gather pen, paper, matches. This is the start of it all, when finally dusk begins to fall and muffle the day's noises and needs. It starts with a tug, a beckoning scent, a rustle, the faint rattle of seeds. You didn't know that you were missing from a story pouring forward in another place. You break the seal and feel the skating brush of a wing. So it's kind of like that brush of magic, that brush of this other world, this other liminal space that we get to enter. So this is like the kind of box that I feel like it's nice to hold on to and save when you have like a few quiet hours in the evening when maybe everyone else in your household has gone to bed, so you can really just enjoy the whole experience. So it looks like this month's theme, or actually the August theme, because she does ship towards the end of the month, is the far shore, or found objects. And I love, because usually I think of Birdmoss as being in this like magical forest where all of these woodland creatures are interacting. This one, we have a little bit more of a seascape. You can see there's an octopus right there, lots of shells, and then on the back it does tell us a little bit more of the story. So you get the story in the box, as well as in, for example, this little parchment letter that always tells us about the actual items inside of the box, as well as emails. There's a whole thing where you're kind of unraveling the story for each month through the emails, and then of course through the box itself. It says, it can take days for a boat to reach the far shore. The vessels pace the shoreline nervously, taking the long way around and always maintaining sight of the land. In contrast, the fisher crows swoop and race over the dark water unafraid. The far shore's rackline is a glittering mosaic paved with flotsam. Water-tumbled relics from distant places, softened and smoothed, collect in the shallow water. The octopi choose the best bits and pieces. With these found objects, they build graceful installations, pathways and gardens in the tidal pools. Colorful creatures move in. Viewed from above, their world is a bright, busy tapestry. Tide pools are such magical places. If you've had an opportunity to kind of peruse a tide pool and walk and discover all of the little creatures, it is really amazing. Octopi are so intelligent and so fascinating. They kind of like give me a little bit of the creeps somehow, but like knowing that they're so smart, they're really fun to watch. And if you happen to see an octopus when you're snorkeling or something, that's really magical, because they are such masters of disguise. All right, so this was a very annotated one. Sometimes it doesn't have, sometimes it's just like the list of our items kind of told in story form with a few little notes that look handwritten along the sides. This time we've got a whole bunch of notes. So let's see which one. This one says, The octopus tells you, I believe that your new power is waiting for you somewhere in the water, but attaining it will not be easy. Most boats will not cross the dark water. You must begin seeking it now, because the journey may be a long one. Make ready now. Well, that sounds kind of ominous, right? Like, do we trust the octopus? I feel like we trust the octopus. I don't know. Would you trust an octopus telling you to make a journey across the dark water? And then it does tell us about octopus treasure. I'm guessing this might be like the octopus version of the items on here. Let's see, we'll have to discover together. This says, carried by tides, dreaming you arrive on the far shore. That's a place, it's part of the world of Birdmoss. You've never made it here before. Interesting, okay. All right, this is so Griffin and Sabine. If you've ever read the Griffin and Sabine books, which have gorgeous sort of artwork as well as letters that you actually unfold and open in envelopes, this is kind of got that vibe. So we've got some beautiful papers here. Some written things. Observe the nests of squirrels for signs of an uncertain winter. So that looks like pages. Drift seed. There is a type of tree or woody vine that is dispersed not by bird or snail, but by the water's currents. We've got this one. What floats is what remains. We've got like an old school map on this side. It looks like pages of a book. A strawberry shell hints that land is near. Touching a drop is like touching the sea. And then over here it says found object, objet trouvé. Must art be made or can it be chosen? The collector suggests that it is the placement of items that creates beauty, bringing them together, placing them in proximity to each other, sorting them. These are the ways that new meanings are created. I think that is a description of people who like to find treasures, but also a description of people who like to write poetry, right? Placing them in proximity to each other, sorting them. These are the way that new meanings are created. That's the beauty of poetry. So I'm guessing, oh, okay. This might be the mini journal kit. It says water-stained book, a mini journal kit. Walking along the rack line, you examine the seaweed and flotsam which is washed ashore. You find the scattered pages of a book. Reassemble it to learn more about the far shore. So yes, you're probably supposed to figure out how to reassemble it. Oh, so this is the cover. So this is the cover, and then I'm guessing these are our pages? I'm not sure. Maybe, oh, maybe, does the octopus treasure list tell us? It says sea bean, sand coins, conch pattern, fragment of tile, and strawberry shell. So we did see the strawberry shell. I'm so confused, everyone. I'm not sure. I'm guessing, I'm gonna say it goes in this order. I don't know. I don't know. So you would just fold it and then open it. You're gonna have to tell me which order to put it in, everyone. Touching a drop is like touching the sea. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Oh, see, these pages go together. Aha! Aha! All right. Let's see what else we've got. Ooh, this is pretty. This is a little shell, so lots of found treasures that have been collected for us. So let's see what this is. I think this is the spiral spell. It might be a pin. Is this a pin? Oh, well, it had a little gold safety pin, but it looks like a necklace to me. And then it has like the gold. Isn't that gold pretty? I think that's really pretty. I think that is our spiral gilded shell pin. The octopus shows you a shell which has been quickened with gilt. Use it in turn to quicken your net bag. Its mathematically perfect swirl helps to funnel the current through the bag's sieve-like structure, making it easier to discern the current's messages as they are swept through the air. The stitch marker pin, so it's like one of those safety pins that has like a bigger round circle at one end, connects you to women doing wise work with tools like needle, thread, and yarn. Well, I dropped it on the floor, but I'll have to find it. But there is a little pin so that you can attach it to something. You can also turn it into a pendant if you wanted to. Now, they did mention a string market bag, our net. So I will unfold this. This is our fishing net. So, right, you get to use your imagination. But here's an example of a fishing net in this storyline, but it's also a very functional market bag. A remnant of a fishing net lies discarded on the beach. It has been fashioned into a bag that is compact but capacious. Use it to carry wet or sandy items, or take it along for spontaneous market stops or orchard visits. You can also hang it in the kitchen to hold garden produce, which is, I love these as produce bags and as beach bags because, like they said, it doesn't hold the sand. So we also have, inside of that was wrapped this cute little seashell box. Now these are things that I used to always get like at the little seashore shops, right? Let me see if I can get this to open. Sometimes they're a little tricky. Sometimes my nails are more of a hindrance than a help. Oh goodness, you guys, there's a little message inside. How exciting. So it says, the scribbled notes you find point you toward a spot between two craggy formations. You spot a gleaming shell half buried in the sand. When you brush away the sand, you see it is actually two matching shell halves fashioned into a latching box. So what a special little thing to keep your treasures in. Let's see what the note says, of course. Do you see how exciting this box can be? Such a delight. By the way, subscribers are referred to as dreamers. Oh, dreamer, seek a pale coin. It will crack under your grip to release 5 eyeless birds. They'll carry your message in all directions, even across the dark water the boats avoid. Well, that, again, very ominous. This is more of a like treasure hunt and mystery than usual, and I am here for it. All right. We also have some water tumbled driftwood, just a lovely piece of driftwood. In Birdmoss, driftwood is a reminder of the power of the elements. You find a wand-like piece which has been buffed to a misty patina. Use it for any practice which is enhanced by the spirit of water and wood. Use it to create a small besom, a display for a kitchen witch, or a garden stake. So this is an example of an item where if you're feeling the Birdmoss vibe, you're like, oh, I can use this to maybe do a little like macrame, or I can use this as a handle for something, or I can use this, you know, and put it as a hook from something and wedge it into a knot that's on my outdoor patio porch or fence. But if you're someone who's on the more negative side, you might be like, they sent us a piece of wood. So you see how it all kind of goes together. Some of the items have maybe a little bit more conventional value, and some of the items have a little bit more imaginative value. So let's have a secret password while we're at it. When you come across a secret password in one of my videos, you want to enter it along with your contact information in the Google form that is linked for you in the description box below. Please do not put the secret passwords into the comments, because then I have to delete them and then you're just a spoil sport, and that's no fun. So you do have to be subscribed to my channel, you do have to be 18 years or older, and you do have to have a US or Canadian mailing address. And just as a reminder, it is not affiliated with YouTube or any of the boxes that I open here on the channel. It is just my way of saying thank you for watching my videos. Essentially, 5 days after the end of the month, I will close the entry form, and then I'll use a random number picker a day or two later to select a few winners to receive mystery boxes as my way of saying thank you. The last round was July and August combined because I was doing every other day, and we wound up sending out 11 boxes. So that is a ton of boxes. You have a lot of opportunities to win. There's not a secret password in every single video, but I feel like it's fun for us to hunt for them as well in the spirit of Birdmoss. So the secret password today is driftwood, because there can be value in different things for different people, and that is okay. So you can tell I've obviously been affected by some comments today. Forgive me. Sometimes I feel a little bit like thinner skinned. All right, this is fun. So of course we have to have our steward of the tidal pool. So we have this small octopus. Gazing into a vibrant tidal pool, you spot an octopus making her rounds. She tamps down the bits of shell and stone she's arranged in the floor of the pool. As soon as she notices you, she hurries over. It's you! At last! The pool is home to creatures with no bones, uncanny shapes, and missing eyes. Again, very ominous. Look at the detail of this underneath. You can see the tentacles and the little suckers. And then I believe that it is meant to be a pendant, so you can see this loop on the top. So you could definitely wear this as a big old octopus pendant if you are someone who loves them. You can also keep your treasure in this little box. So I feel like we got kind of two, but I do also like the idea of just like pinning this like gilt shell with the, you know, the golden spiral, perfect dimensions right there. So I think that might be it. So let's see. It says, before you leave, the octopus selects a few special items for you. Display them with your oddities or include them on your altar. Even here, the animals seem to be preparing for something, an uncertain winter. Oh, I missed this whole net bag. So we found our water-stained book that we have to put together. So again, you could just do that with like a little stapler, or if you wanted to get fancy, you could even do a sewn binding once you figure out which way it goes. The waiting message seashell box, the fishing net string market bag, our water tumbled driftwood, that was number 4, our steward of the tidal pool, our small octopus, there she is, our spiral shell, spiral spell, gilded shell pin, that's hard to say, and then our octopus treasure, which is a bunch of marine curiosities. So she brings us a bunch of things, and that is on my list that is here on the back. So let me see. Oh goodness. We have so many things in this nice little sea salt bag, which you could definitely use to store your soap in. And it makes a nice scrubber as well. Ooh, there are some fun treasures. So they did tell us, you know, this little mystery note did tell us to collect these things. So this is all of the octopus treasure. This is so much fun. And then you can put this, it looks like you can actually put it into one of these, like, it's this plastic, so you can actually make like a little, you know, I don't know, a terrarium of sorts, a display if you want to. So let's see, I can never open these. These are also really good just for keeping your jewelry in so they don't get tarnished. So we have sea bean, drift seed from a distant place, snuff box sea bean, empowered dreaming and communing with spirits. I'm not sure what the sea bean is. Sand coins, aka sand dollars. We got a couple of those. Those are adorable. 5 birds inside. Ah, is it the little dots? Maybe it's the little dots. 5 birds inside, prosperity and purpose. A conch pattern, sliced to see the winding chamber inside. The spiral, the golden ratio, appears again and again in Birdmoss lore. It is true, and they often draw the golden ratio for us. A fragment of tile. This must be from the city of canals. Is it crumbling into the sea? So we have this nice little piece of pottery, a little shard. A strayberry shell, because it looks like a rosy berry, offering of beauty and sweetness. It does have that texture. You can see like the little dots on it, so it does look like a berry. That's pretty cool. I've never heard of a strayberry shell. Not strawberry, but strayberry shell. That's pretty neat. We got a strayberry shell. And so then I think that this sea bean must be this. Very strange. I thought it was a rock, but it's not. Drift seed from a distant place. A snuff box sea bean. Interesting. Who knew? Empowered dreaming and communing with spirits. So, you know, there's a little bit of ritual in this box too if you want to. I used to actually have a basket of kind of treasures that I had collected. I had crystals and feathers and shells, and you know, you can definitely have a whole Birdmoss display of the treasures that sort of speak to you, that help you enter a world of imagination. So the ones that like kind of speak to you, you could put into the little case, of course. So that's nice. All right, so a whole assortment of treasures. Sea bean, never seen this before. I wonder what the plant is that they come from. See, they almost sound like castanets would be. Sand coins, the sand dollars, the conch pattern. I do like a sliced shell. I always think that's really pretty. The little tile fragment. Not sure what I would do with that, but if you're into mosaics or like sort of sculptural things, or just sticking it into one of your potted plants or out in your garden, that works too. And then I really like the strayberry shell. I know a lot of people, especially those of us who kind of have a coastal vibe to our homes and our decor, have like boxes or baskets of shells, and I am no stranger to that. I'm trying to get this to focus and it just doesn't want to, so. But I wanted you guys to see the strayberry shell. It is so cool. All right, anyway, so we got all kinds of things. That was a total of 7 things. Obviously, our little octopus treasure had several, but I thought it was a delightful box. I love this sort of seashore vibe. Again, very different for Birdmoss, which is usually more foresty and dark. But you guys let me know in the comments below, do you like this kind of imaginative box? And even if you don't, again, in the spirit of being positive, what was your favorite item in here? You can be very functional and say it was the market tote, because I would actually use that. Or you could be like, I don't know why, but I really like that piece of driftwood. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Don't forget there was a secret password, so make sure you go back and find that so you can enter to win a mystery box. And I will see you all very, very soon in my next unboxing.